Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. International break was dead, man, but finally it's over and here we are for the Derby della Madonnina preview, and I have a special guest on with me today, big AC Milan fan. Welcome Miguel to the channel, aka Milano Miguel. What's up, bro?
What's up, guys? It's your boy Miguel here, also known as Milano Miguel. I'm very happy to be here collaborating with Uncle Sharma. He's such a great guy. One of the better Interisti in my opinion, and I'm just happy to be here to collab with him.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you on to give your Milanista perspective. And obviously going into this, it's a little bit weird, obviously you guys haven't won a derby since like 2016, which is crazy to think. We literally own this derby, if you don't mind me saying. But going into this one on Saturday 5 p.m. UK time, this derby I'm not feeling as positive as the last few. Inter have been COVID hit. We've had 6 or 7 players, I believe now, is with the COVID, out with the COVID. Most of our players have been out on international duty and playing, almost every single minute for the national teams. You guys are unbeaten in 15 matches dating back to the post-COVID restart from last season. So everything is looking rosy for you guys. And what do you make of it? What's your feeling going into this derby?
Looking ahead for Saturday's Derby della Madonnina, I'm looking very positive. Milan has been on uprise. They've been on an undefeated win streak, no losses since the restart of COVID. I don't even remember the last time that we lost a game, to be honest. I think the last time that we lost a game was against Juventus in the Coppa Italia semi-final round, yeah. But very good for Milan. Yeah, we have some COVID outbreaks. Mattia Gabbia has COVID, which kind of sucks, but nevertheless, Alessio Romagnoli's back, so that gives us a boost. It's gonna suck that we might not have Rebic. Overall, I'm feeling really good for this derby. I'm feeling confident that Milan could probably shake up something and get their first win in the Derby della Madonnina since 2016 of January.
Yeah, well, don't blame me for being positive. As I was saying, I feel like the tide is a little bit swinging towards your side for this one, especially as mentioned with the COVID hit. Players that Inter have, Skriniar and Bastoni are the ones that are really, really key to me. Our defense was, our best part of our team last year, the best defense in the Serie A, and this year we were already leaking goals, so we really don't need those setbacks in defense. Do you feel like all these missing players for Inter will make an impact to the match?
Yeah, so as to Inter being a weaker side due to the COVID outbreak and having players that, have COVID, I definitely do think that Inter is a weaker side defensively, but on paper they're still a quality side to be able to give Milan problems and compete with Milan. With COVID, you have Ashley Young, Nainggolan. We also have Bastoni, Skriniar. Those are very important players to Conte's lineup, especially Bastoni and Skriniar, probably the 2 best defenders on this team. Nainggolan seems like, he's a good player, but it seems like he wants to get out of the team and go back to Cagliari. But with this, it does make them a weaker side. Who knows, maybe Alexander Kolarov is going to have to fill in. And I know Inter fans aren't too keen on that because he's never played the center-back position. He's a left-back. And in his first game, his debut, he played in that center-back role and he didn't do so hot. So, not a fan of Kolarov for the Inter fans, but that might just be what you have to deal with. And having Kolarov in that defense may give you some liability. Sure, Kolarov is great off of a set piece. If Inter gets a free kick, Kolarov is the man to step up for it. But Inter also have Achraf Hakimi, who can, pull up the weight, and hopefully he gets a start in this game. I think he will get a start in this game, so not too much to worry for Inter.
Yeah, well, good point. I also have to mention that today, actually, it was announced that Alexis Sanchez is also out with an injury, which it just keeps adding on to this list. The COVID guys are now the Alexis Sanchez injury, which we didn't need. Sanchez was the one that in the last derby came and changed the match, with his impact in the second half. The assist to Vecino and in general his energy, hustle and bustle is always great, and is a great weapon to have on the bench to bring on instead of Lautaro. So he's going to be another big miss. So I feel like overall Inter are really going to be a lot weaker. But as you said, we've built up a really good squad. So even with all these absences, we still have a good team to put out there. Speaking of the teams that we're going to put out there, what's the predicted lineup for AC Milan?
For me, the predicted Milan lineup would be Gianluigi Donnarumma in goal. Then we have Davide Calabria at right back. Center backs, we would have Alessio Romagnoli and Simon Kjaer, who have been in top form, especially Kjaer. He's been very well since he came in Milan in January. Since he's been in the side, the team hasn't really lost a game, and he's been a worthy investment despite his age. Theo Hernandez at left back, and for the midfield, I'm gonna go with Benacer and Kessié. I'm not so keen on Kessié. Maybe Tonali will get the start because Kessié did travel for international break along with Benacer. So maybe Tonali might get the start over Kessié. But then in the midfield, I think we're gonna go with Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Alexis Salamakers, and Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz is that player that I've highlighted since the beginning of the season, that he's a very, very talented player. He can dribble, he can cross, he can make things happen with just the gifted dynamic technique that this player has. And I think that he will get a start. Not so keen on Rebic. Leao may get a start depending on how Pioli feels. And at the top, I'm going to go with Ibrahimovic. You know, Zlatan is the GOAT, the man, the myth, the legend. He will be leading this Milan line.
Yeah, very interesting. It'll be interesting to see if he, what you say there. It could be risky not starting Kessie because, Tonali doesn't seem like he's still kind of integrated into the team yet. So I think that would be risky not starting Kessie. Maybe you could bring on Tonali in the second half, but I don't feel like Pioli will be sacrificing his sergeant in the middle. Him and Benacer have built up that partnership in the middle. That's, one of the best in the Serie A. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets the nod. Is Rafael Leao or Brahim Diaz, I think. Because I think especially with the right centre-back, left centre-back missing, with, it'll be most likely D'Ambrosio and Kolarov on those right centre-back, left centre-back position. And, I feel like, especially if you bring on someone like Leao, who is very, very good, very pacey on the 1v1, it could cause a lot of problems, especially to D'Ambrosio on that side. Sometimes, his pace can be found a bit lacking. And especially with this formation, they have to cover so much space. Yeah, overall, you guys have a pretty strong lineup there. The Romagnoli fitness doubt is probably the main one. But, Lukaku's been taking him for a walk the last few derbies. So I'm not really too stressed if he does play in the end. For Inter, obviously, it will be Handanovic. So in the makeshift defense, D'Ambrosio, De Vrij luckily didn't get injured. Kolarov would most likely be starting a left centre-back, which is a worry. And I think Conte, I haven't seen any predicted lineups out really, but I think Conte might revert back to his tried and tested 3-5-2 formation, even though Christian Eriksen has been in great form for the Danish national team over this little break. He scored 3 goals in 3 matches, but I think Conte will go for the solidity of a 3-5-2 with Brozovic returning as the deep-lying midfielder to, look after Çalhanoğlu probably in that CAM position, and then Vidal and Barella in the other centre mid positions to provide the box-to-box presence and a bit more solidity coming back. On the wings, obviously Achraf Hakimi, and on the other side is where I'm not sure where Conte will go with this, with Ivan Perisic still not convincing at the left wing back position. So even Matteo Darmian could be a late shout for that position. He has played for Parma already this season, so he is in condition to play. He hasn't been, to the international matches, so it could be a option to watch out for. It's not his ideal position, but it's definitely a position that he can play, and definitely more defensively solid than even Perisic, even though that side is probably Milan's weaker side, the right side, with Salami maker, Salamakers and Calabria. Perisic getting into the box with his height and athleticism could be a big trouble on the far post for AC Milan. Then obviously up top will be Lautaro Lukaku, even more likely now as Sanchez is out, and Pinamonti I don't think is going to get much playing time at all this season anyway. Are there any Inter players that you're going to be watching out for in particular? Obviously that Hakimi, Theo Hernandez battle on the right hand side will be an amazing watch. It's like a gazelle versus a cheetah, probably two of the fastest players in the Serie A.
I'm really looking to see what Achraf Hakimi does in this game against Theo Hernandez. The two were teammates at Real Madrid, And Theo Hernandez came out to say that he knows Achraf Hakimi very well and that he knows what he's going to try to do, and he's going to do everything capable to shut him down in this game. And let's actually see if Theo Hernandez can do that. Theo Hernandez has improved immensely since he came to Milan. His defense wasn't as good, but his attack, him cutting down that wing, getting into the box, putting in a cross or taking a shot, it's been very wonderful. So I'm looking to see that battle between Achraf Hakimi and Theo Hernandez on the flanks.
And finally, let's wrap it up with some match predictions.
So Milan haven't won a Derby della Madonnina since January of 2016, which is about 4 years, which is honestly disappointing, but I have to give it that Milan fans have been going through a Banta era, and this is the start of a beautiful project that seems to be going in the right direction. Now, with that being said, the last Derby della Madonnina, we lost 4-2. We had a 2-0 lead, and we let Inter come back and score 4 goals in one half, which is absolutely unacceptable. But I think that the players have matured since that, and they have, that experience now to be like, hey, this is a derby. We need to tie it down. So personally, I'm going to go with Milan winning 2-1 or a 3-2 win. For Milan, their game plan will be to get the best out of Theo Hernandez and Davide Calabria on the flanks. In those positions, they need to be defensively aware and also offensively aware, creating runs into the flanks and crosses into the box. For the midfield, Benacer and Kessié, that partnership is extremely vital. Kessié needs to be on his A game to retain the ball back and dish it out. And then for Benacer to find that pass to dish it out to either Brahim Diaz, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, so that they can create something into the attack. But that high press system that Stefano Pioli is playing is the most important thing about this game. In the last derby, we took our foot off the gas, and that came back to haunt us. We need to keep the pressure in the high press system. I think that this game is going to be full of goals, especially with players like Romelu Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, Achraf Hakimi, Nicolo Barella, Stefano Sensi, if he does play. These players are all quality players to have in your attack, in your midfield, and I think that goals will come. Because Milan have been scoring goals, Inter have been scoring goals. Goals are not a problem, so I think this will be a goal fest match. So I'm going either Milan win 2-1 or Milan win 3-2.
Okay, so you are really confident. I'm going to go for a draw, actually. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think, as you said, there are going to be goals. I think both teams are, even though you guys have kept a clean sheet this season, I feel like you are susceptible at the back. And we are definitely susceptible at the back this season, so I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. What I'm really worried about is the Zlatan far post runs, or in general his aerial play without Skriniar and Bastoni, who are tallest centre-backs. They're both taller than Stefan de Vrij. And Ambrosio and Kolarov are a big step down in terms of height. And even in the air, de Vrij is not the most commanding, most athletic centre-back. So I'm really worried about those balls into the box to Ibrahimovic, which caused a lot of problems. Even with Godin and Skriniar last time around, we couldn't handle him. So even this time around, it's going to be even more of an issue. So I really hope we're able to stop those crosses or those long balls into Ibra as soon as possible. If we are, I think we can even take the win. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Miguel, man. That was good. I hope everyone enjoyed that one. Let everyone know where they can find you on social media and all that good stuff.
So yeah, guys, thanks for having me. Thank you, Uncle Sharma, for reaching out to collab with me. Very much appreciated. You can follow me on Twitter at MiguelAJ29. At YouTube is Milano Miguel. Just anything Serie A related, you can catch me on that. My channel is dedicated to sport. I did cover the Champions League group stages and the round of 16 up until the COVID break, and then I had to lean towards away from that because of Serie A was playing 3 times a week. But hopefully looking to get back into that. Definitely gonna recap on Milan's Europa League run this season, and hopefully when time permits I can go into other sports. But yeah, that's really all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. Forza Milan, and peace.
Yeah, definitely guys, check Miguel's channel out and everything, and on Twitter. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like this kind of videos. Comment down below with your prediction, who you're watching out for. If you're an AC Milan fan, welcome to the channel. What are your predictions? Unfortunately, I won't be around for a quick reaction post-match, but I will do something a bit more in-depth, maybe a couple of days later to review the match. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on that, and thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Ciao.